Today we will review Lacuna, but first let's talk about winning at tic-tac-toe. To be the winner, you have to go first, and you have to put your eggs into one of the four corners. From there are two options. Option 1, your opponent puts all in the middle. If they are experienced, it is guaranteed tie. Option 2, your opponent puts their all into any of the outside cells. This is guaranteed win for you. Let me show you how it works. You have two options after your first move. Depending how your opponent responds, you want to put your eggs as close to their O as possible, as long as there is an empty spot between your two X's. If the spot is taken, just take the other corner. Now your opponent has no choice, they have to block you, which opens the door for the trap. Once you lay this trap, you have two options for your next move and you cannot be stopped. You will win this game. Welcome to Board Game Detectives, my name is Serge and today we'll talk about Lacuna. If you like tic-tac-toe, despite its first player advantage and the very deterministic rules, you will love Lacuna. However, if you are like me who does not like tic-tac-toe, you will also have issues with Lacuna, which has very significant second player advantage. Today we'll talk about that, but first let's take a look at the BGG stats. Lacuna was designed by Mark Gerritz, who also designed a couple more games, but unfortunately I didn't have a chance to try those. Lacuna was released in 2023. It has rating of 7.7 and overall rank of 3,431. It plays best at 2 and it is a two-player game. But what's funny, I enjoyed it much more when I was playing it solo, when I was testing the mechanics of this game. Playing time is 10 to 15 minutes, but it can definitely take up to 30 minutes because it is very prone to analysis paralysis. Community says that you can play it from 6 years old, and I believe this is a great age to play this game when you are just having fun and don't overthink. In this case, the weight is just one very simple game. But when I play this game, I do think about my next move and the weight shoots up to over 3 in this case. The ratings are very favorable for this game. About 300 participants rated it at 8 or higher. Lacuna did receive highest praises from one of the top board gaming channels, which might have played a role in this very high rating. After watching this shut up and sit down review, where they called Lacuna remarkably chill, I said, take my money and immediately placed the order. Unfortunately, I was disappointed with the game. First off, it is not chill if you are trying to win it. And secondly, it greatly suffers from the second player advantage. I was trying to find opinions of other players, and I came across this thread on Reddit, where one of the users is saying, I am 10 plays in and I do not see how player 1 can win, unless player 2 screws up. And here we have an answer from someone who claims that they are the designer of the game. And this person says, Lacuna has been playtested a lot. And he says that the free flower seemed enough in our tests to make the game balanced enough. Then he talks a little bit more about the tests. But at the very end of his reply he says, one thing I've noticed that can really push the second player advantage into the red is allowing the second player too much time for their last move. So if this is truly the designer in this comment, then he claims that the second player advantage can be pushed into the red if the second player takes too much time to think on their last move. In today's video, I will show you how the game plays and how to spend very little time on your last move and win the game. The game is very simple. Each of the two players has 6 tokens, and in turn order they will be placing those tokens on this nice board, and they would put it between 2 flowers of the same color and they would take both of the flowers. And they will keep doing this until both players use all of their tokens. After that, there still will be 24 flowers left on the board. And what is happening, anyone who is the closest to all of those flowers would pick those. So this would go to the second player, this would go to the first player, and the board is cleared. There are 7 colors and 7 flowers in each of those colors. At the end of the game, whichever player has majority in at least 4 different flower types is the winner. To balance out this second player advantage, the first player is getting 1 free bonus flower. Just for fun, I asked myself, what would be the right moves to win this game? I thought a lot about this, and I came up with this system, which I believe will increase your chances of winning this game. I did not do enough of playtesting, so you are welcome to find holes in the system and let me know in the comments if you do. But for now, it seems to be solid enough, and I will gladly share it with you. Before we begin, here's the ground rule. If one player has 2 or more flowers, the other player should not take the same color. Because in this situation, this player now with their next move will take same color and will complete the majority, and this means that this move was wasted. So again, do not take the color that your opponent has already claimed, because in most cases it will result in wasted turn. With that in mind, let me show you the strategies that I believe are optimal for both players. Let's begin with the first player. They have only 6 tokens, which means that they can take only 12 flowers plus the bonus one, which means that at the end of the game they will be 3 flowers short. So whatever they do, they need to make sure that they secure those 3 flowers. So here's how their strategy would go. First turn, they need to take blue, not to lose the blue. Then with the next 2 moves, they keep reinforcing the blue, because at the end of the game, it will be very challenging to maintain this color. With their next 2 moves, they now are trying to secure those 2 colors. And with their very final move, they have to make a choice between those 2. And if they choose this, when they do, they have to again reinforce this color for the end of game scoring. Now let's take a look at what the second player should do. Your first move objective would be to get as close to blue as possible. You will pick any color as long as your token is positioned very close to one of the remaining blue tokens on the board for the end of game scoring. Your second and third moves would be to secure majority for your first color for the end of game scoring. Your moves 4 and 5 would be meant to attack one of the colors of the opponent for the end of game scoring, which leaves you with the last final move. Believe it or not, but in the majority of cases, maybe up to 80%, you will be able to steal one of the uncompleted colors from your opponent. In my experience, it is the color with the 2 flowers which is the easiest to steal. You can get 4 flowers for yourself and win the majority, but also the color with the bonus tile is not safe at the end of the game. If you follow this system and you know exactly what you are doing, at the end of the game, your last turn will take seconds, because you will see the map beforehand and you will know exactly what to do. The rulebook says that at the end of the game you have to collect all the flowers for the final scoring, but in my experience it is pointless. You just check the majorities for those 3 remaining incomplete colors, and in seconds you know who the winner is. The game also comes with this ruler to measure who is closer to which flower. As I said, it's a waste of time to check all the flowers, and in itself this ruler is very gimmicky and very unuseful. In my experience and in my opinion, all this comes just to pure luck. If both players played perfectly and they did everything to secure their final flowers, the first player can still win in maybe up to 20% of the cases. And this would happen not because this player played so perfectly, but because they were lucky. the flowers were arranged in a way where the second player was not able to steal any of the colors from them. Again, my opinion is very subjective, and it is based on limited playtesting. I do encourage you to try this game for yourself, try my system, and see if you can come up with different conclusions. If you do, please let me know in the comments. Having said that, I do recommend this game for families with young kids. If you don't overthink this, this can be a very chill game and it can be very enjoyable. So in that sense, yep, it's a good game. Thank you for watching. See you next time.